at it out here in the farm field. We're on the V3, and we got our first solid target here, and it appears to be a light artillery button circa 1812. You can see the script A over here and the star circle here with a lined background. Well, a little difficult to see on this button, but it's there. It's definitely there. So I think that's a script L right there, so LA, light artillery. No shank, we could see the square, or sorry, rectangle on the back for the button style, or the type. And it's looking a really solid find here, first find. Artillery button out in this farm field, and we're gonna keep hitting it. What's going on, guys? Just a quick little check-in. Dug this very low signal, but just to kind of show you guys, look how thin that is. As a flat button right there, super paper thin. I was ringing up in the teens. A lot of guys won't dig it, some people won't, but you gotta dig those signals if you wanna get some of this older stuff. Smaller buttons like this, they ring down that low, so you gotta swing your coil a little bit on the slower side, and sometimes they're deep. But out in this farm field, there's gonna be plenty of buttons, so I like to dig them all. A lot of people try to ignore it, they'll cherry pick, but just a little informational tidbit there. Oh, and a couple holes ago I dug a nickel, like a modern nickel, and when I was walking around kind of just messing with it with my finger, trying to scrape off the crud on the date, and it's a 45, so it's a war nickel, 35% silver. I'll take that. But always make sure you clean up your finds so you kind of get a feel for what it actually is, because I threw that nickel in there just thinking it was just going to be a regular Jefferson nickel, and boop, turned out to be a war nickel. It's pretty beat up though. Grab it out of my pouch. Bam. So you can see it's green and brown, like you'd find a normal nickel. But when I was rubbing it, you could see like little flakes of silver showing through. There on Jefferson's head, on his forehead there, you can see a little bit of silver. Normal nickels really won't do that. You know, plow definitely hit this guy twice. But hey, I'll take what I can get out here. You know, it's part of farm fields and what I love about them. Alright guys, so I just dug this signal, only about 7 inches or so, but it's not a button. I got a thimble here. Nice little thimble action. It's a little beat up from the plow, but to be expected, especially hunting in a farm like this. But I'm just gonna keep swinging over in this area. It's, you know, it's slow, but you never know what might come up. All right, we're back home now. I got all my finds here cleaned up. What I didn't know was that one of the flat buttons that I had dug wasn't actually a flat button. It was a half cent. I had a little bit of corrosion right in the middle. I thought it was just a shankless flat button. And after I threw it in the hot peroxide, and that's the method I use to clean all my buttons, I pulled it out, and as I'm wiping all the peroxide off under the water, and I wipe off all the water to dry it, I barely made out the silhouette of the bust on it, and it turns out it's a 1793 left-facing Liberty Cap, half cent. For those of you who don't know, they only minted, it was less than 36,000 of them. Very few are known to be floating around. Obviously mine's worse for wear. It came out of a farm field. The fertilizer and all that stuff really ravaged the coin. And not to mention, it got hit by the plow once. You could tell because there's a bit of a crease in the middle of the coin. But either way, I'm happy with it. I had to alter the patina a little bit using some top secret methods I have, so that you can make out the bust without having to have like 30 lights on it and angle it just right so I could display the coin. So that's what you're seeing right there. I'm still happy with it. I'm never going to sell the coin, so whether it diminishes the value, it doesn't matter to me, because it's going to be in my collection forever. But some of the other finds we got here, we got, of course, the war nickel I found. Didn't know it was a war nickel at first until I started scraping at that date. And I seen a bunch of silver underneath, and normal nickels normally kind of brown and like off color. It's hard to explain exactly what color that is, what the ground does to nickels. But this had silver, so I knew it was a war nickel before I even got to see the 1945 on there. Also scored myself a little wheat cent and a nice little plethora of buttons. I love finding flat buttons. They're a stamp in time to date a field, and it's really great. And of course, among these flat buttons was this light artillery button from the War of 1812. A little worse for wear, but you can clearly see the script LA with the circle of stars. Just a beautiful button. Managed to get a little bit of horse tack out of there. And of course, I got my little thimble. Something else I came across in the field were these little bits of pottery, china, and a little piece of a mason jar lid. And that's all stuff that you can use to date a field, which is really useful. And something else I'm going to show you right now is my back room. So let's take a look. Alright guys, this last little bit here is for you guys saying, oh man, all I ever dig is trash. These guys are always digging good stuff. What kind of machine are you using? It's not always good stuff. So we'll just pan over here. I dig lots and lots of trash. I come home, that's all unsorted. I still gotta sort through some of this. And I split up all the metal. So I have lead, copper, brass, aluminum, and iron. I separate it all up and I take it and I cash it in at the local recycling plant. But it's not always good stuff. Here's a little secret look at some of the extra stuff that I have that I haven't made it to a display case. I got 45s, 50 cals. Oh, there's a lot of military stuff here. These are all grenade top fuses. Little bits of bridle pieces, little bits of horse tack, more horse tack buckles, things like that. These tent slips. So I see these a lot on ID Me. These are World War I era. They predate World War I and they post-date the Civil War. So they're not Civil War. You may have found them at a Civil War campsite, but more than likely they used that site well after the Civil War. I have probably over 200 of these things that I dug out of Fort Dix. I got little bits of toys and other things like that. But yeah, man, it's not always treasure. Lots and lots of trash has to get sorted through just to find a couple good pieces. Okay, so this wraps up everything. We got our total. But something special is I'm going to let you guys know there's a video on my channel right now. It's a secondary series that I'm shooting, just kind of tips, tricks, and things like that. It's called The War Room. The first episode's really cool, and it'll help you fix things that are kind of mangled out in the field. Sometimes you'll find a really nice brooch will be twisted from a plow, or might be crushed or crunched up. And I'm going to show you how to bend it back to close, if not perfectly, how it's supposed to be without breaking those small, delicate brass pieces. I'm letting you guys know now, and I'm going to actually make the announcement later next week. So go enjoy the video now before everyone else does. If you like it, please share it. Hit that subscribe button so you guys never miss an episode. The War Room is going to be a regularly occurring thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be once a month or twice a month in between my more lengthy Warthog videos. But please come check it out. Please subscribe to the channel. And get out there and dig while you can, guys. Winter's coming.